coffee.
It's Fantastic Friday.
Well, if no one's gonna drink this, maybe I'll just... Ugh, that's terrible. That's...
She drinks like me.
I thought it's Friday, or is that just when I'm not around?
It's a Friday. Hey, Pasquale, it's a Friday. That's a spicy meatball, eh? I wanted to add.
We're not racist at all.
No, not at all.
Be Good Friday.
I mean, nothing's worse than Anima before the show talking about how the Irish are drunks.
What? Excuse me.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
off.
What a way to start it off.
I told her, I said, I like to go to Irish wakes. What is that? Oh, I suppose it's lots of drinking.
Hey, not even 2 minutes and I already dropped 2 bombs. All Stains is going to be proud of me.
I drank
All right.
my first Irish coffee last night, and it was superb. So good that I had 3.
Well, did you have the American Irish coffee or traditional Irish coffee?
I don't know. I had it for the first time. It was Harvey's Bristol Cream.
Yeah, it's
Brewer,
not.
and
Here's a real Irish coffee. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Black coffee, no sugar, no cream,
Whiskey.
and a shot of whiskey in it.
Ugh!
It will wake your ass up and make you feel good. Like fuel up, wake.
I think that we're possibly maybe getting invaded as we speak.
Well, look, man. Before the show, we were talking about this shit. Let me go ahead and pull.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
I have the video, yeah. There it is. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know if there's any audio. Here we go. What the hell?
Here they come.
They're gonna have a great time.
Hey, they're just some aliens in town for a good time.
There's an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
That's the one that freaked me out right there.
Yeah.
Boy, if those 9-foot beings come back into your backyard, you call the police and we'll come back.
But now it's 9 foot?
Yeah.
Don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself.
The cops are like, don't call us. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Shit's insane. But here, I want to bring it up again, and I plan to talk about this on the next show on Wednesday with Don Ecker. It's like, what the fuck took them 3 weeks to release that? And I said it before the show. I said, it sounds like it was scrubbed, by people, certain people. And ironically, they blacked out the backyard shot because that was private property. And of course, anybody with any intelligence goes, the side yard and front yard is private property too.
But
showing the house is private property.
But can't the people, the residents, say we waived the private property thing?
Of course they could. That was, I'm telling you, and there's no way it took them 3 weeks. We've been investigating this for 3 weeks. No, you didn't. You investigated the first 24 fucking hours.
Who investigated?
And then the next day, you're just doing follow-ups. It's not investigating anymore. The investigation took place that freaking night.
You're telling me that the agencies didn't come in? They didn't do any kind of scientific
Absolutely. They did.
analysis. You know what I mean?
Those gentlemen in black,
Come on. You know, that's such BS. I can't take
It
it
is.
anymore.
I just looked at that. The minute that reporter said that and expected everybody listening to believe that, I'm sitting there thinking every intelligent human being listening to this right went, bullshit.
Exactly.
It's not even like, I don't know, man. That sounds no, that's complete bullshit. That's a lie. It's not possibly a lie. It is a lie. Holy shit, guess who's here?
Hey, Keith.
Keith. Hi.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Keith.
Good morning.
Hi, Keith. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Doing fair to middling.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave you my Missouri answer. That was for you, Keith. I did that just for you, fair to middling. For those of you around the world listening to the show right now, that's the Midwest way of saying, I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, have you been keeping up on the show, Keith?
We may have lost them. I don't hear them.
Okay.
Okay. Before you guys start, I don't want to hear no spoilers. So I'm getting the heck off because
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Bill. We can't stand you anyway.
I'm doing a show and they're throwing me off.
We
But
got a
Keith,
super sticker.
Oh, we do. Darius Munchausen with the $4 delicious super sticker of a pad drinking coffee. Hey, cheers to you, mate. Who else here right now? Let's see who else here. Slord Thoth, Penny, FKHC. Is there another name for FKHC? Because that's just weird calling somebody a bunch of letters, random. And of course, our good friend Christian Delorme is here. FKH, is there like a nickname we can have? Like maybe you could put a nickname in there like Bob, Hank.
Yeah, we need a nickname.
Turd
Or
McPherson.
Just call him F.
Bob Terwilliger. And of course, Darius Munchausen is here. And I'll give you a little video here. Let's see. What's a good video? Here we go.
Wow. I got a fever.
There you go. Thank you, sir, for your $4 super chat. Still, I'm a little freaked out by that UFO shit in Las Vegas.
See,
You know.
there's a reason why they landed in Las Vegas and not Missouri. Because if in Missouri, we would have bagged 2 aliens.
Yeah, they'd been dinner.
It would have been dinner, but we would have had them hung up in the tree. And when the cops came in, there they are.
Well, here in Missouri, the question would be, are they safe to eat? And the boy that did it was be like, I'll tell you tomorrow. We already done ate them. They're kind of yummy, a little sticky and gummy around places. Alex Moore is here from the UK. And again, Alex is here, so I'm going to tell him, again, in Missouri, when somebody says, how you doing? The answer is fair to middling. Fair to middling, which is an old way of saying, I'm doing okay. All hail to you, Lord Thoth. Let's see. That's exactly why they landed in Vegas, so they wouldn't get killed. Yeah. They avoid those Midwestern states where we all pack. Susan Lawrence is here too, by the way, drinking coffee with you. Good for you. I'm having caffeine, but it's too warm in the studio, so I'm drinking me a little Mountain Dew Zero. I actually bought an 8-pack of the bottles. I love this drink, man. It's got a lot of caffeine.
I miss soda.
One day, maybe you'll be able to enjoy it again. I don't want to drink it too often because it's bad for your bones, the CO2.
Yeah.
But and I already suffer from the degenerative bone disease. It's called degenerative bone disease because only degenerates get it. Let's
Penny,
see.
it was a few weeks ago at the beginning
April 30th.
April 30th I thought it was the beginning of May, but
No, I think it was April 30th is when it took place. So Christian Delorme with the stripper $5 Canadian. Hey Keith, I hope things are better. Been there. It's something we all have to process, man. It is.
Yep.
And it sucks. But for you, Christian, here's your video.
Yeah, whatever helps you sleep at night, bitch.
There you go. It was a tough, dark period for me when I lost my dad first, and then my mom followed, and then my brother. That's the one that wrecked me. It was my brother, and I still have, Dawn and Anima. because I don't get emotional when I talk. I just don't. But the minute I started talking about my brother, I had to go off camera because I started getting emotional. Because that one I wasn't prepared for. And you know, I remember reading in nursing school that we all prepare for our Karens. You know, our parents, we're all preparing from like teen years to adulthood. And when it happens, it just happens. And you just got to muscle your way through it. And it's hard. And Keith's going through it right now.
I lost my dad in 94 and my mom in 2011. And I've lost both sets of grandparents. So
that's a long time ago with your dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 24.
How old was your pop?
51.
Oh, fuck, that's young.
It was too young.
I'm glad because apparently this problem runs in your family. I'm glad you're losing the weight, man. I don't want to lose you.
Yeah, well, my grandpa was 102. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There's hope for John.
Those are the genes you want.
Yeah, I'm counting on following after grandpa. That's what I'm counting on.
You know, although the great way to, you know, follow up my statement about that's the way to go is to say, well, grandpa was also a chronic public masturbator. It's like, not my
grandfather. No.
Not your grandpa. But that's the way what I would do if my joke.
Yeah.
The Midwest greeting. If you're at work, another day in paradise. I've never heard that one, Darius. Never heard that
I've used that one.
I've never heard that one.
Oh, we can call him Tim.
Tim.
All right, you're Tim.
Hello, Tim. But what's nice though is if you put that in your name, like at the end, some call me Tim.
Yeah, then you would be bitching about how long the name is.
Hey Joe, sorry, I just noticed you came in.
You're 5 seconds away from getting fired as my girlfriend right now, Anima. I'm telling you right now. Shit on me one more time during a show.
I will.
Be mean to me.
Oh, so you don't like
challenging
it.
me. You're just challenging me by saying that.
Yeah, I'm not challenging. I'm just
I don't want to get in between you.
Oh, you're between us again. What's up with that?
I didn't do that.
Yeah, you did.
Spot.
John's being a jerk. Stop it, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm living the dream. Living the dream. I've heard that one. Let's see. I'm watching the show today, but only because Keith is co-hosting on screen. Otherwise, I would be organizing my sock drawer, Jerry. Yeah, because I know you call me Jerry when I'm not listening. I was told. Tom told me. And Andre. They both narked on you.
And you're narking on them.
Well, of course. One good narc deserves another.
Is that Mikey telling me that I'm not enough as a co-host? That hurt, dude.
It is. Yeah. That's Mikey saying, hey, the Austrian bitch, she sucks.
Okay, then I'll take my notes and fuck
off. No, you stick here. Get back over here by me. Let's see. Tom busted. Hey, Penny. Oh, my God. It's good to see you, Mikey. So today I decided that I wanted to get caught up on From and just do one episode because we got derailed 2 episodes over the last month. And I want to get us back on track.
Yeah, apologies about last week. I had no power, so I couldn't join the show. So I had to improvise.
Yeah, she's just laying on the floor with the inability to get up.
Electricity, dude.
Oh, that kind of power. Okay. She's I was imagining you like a boneless chicken.
No, the thing is in Vienna you have daytime electricity and nighttime electricity, and apparently my district is switching things around. So I was cut off twice in the past month.
Very much so. By the way, Anima, oh my God, I was digging at Gary. Don't go anywhere.
And I guess I'm chopped liver.
No, I'd say you're liver pate.
As long as I'm not foie gras.
Pate. I come from
Yeah.
a Jewish family, Irish Catholic in a family of 6 Jews. Um, and my sister Luann makes one of the most amazing liver patés. And I stole her recipe so I can make it whenever I want. Made, of course, with beef liver. But by the way, for the first time in 25 years, I had chicken livers when we were at the restaurant the other day with Keith's family and friends.
That was good.
We love you too, Mikey.
Did you have the chicken livers?
No, but I mean that looked good, man. I mean that did look good.
I could not believe how good it was. It's like if you had gone over to get a piece, I would have smacked your hand. It was that good.
I know. And a big shout out to our friends at Sam's Southern Eatery who were
wow.
really, really nice.
I got to tell you, I'd never eaten there before. I've wanted to, and I was so glad we did that. It was like my first experience eating there. That's some good shit. And amazingly, none of them are Southern American or Southern Indian.
Hey, get it however you can.
And that is really some of the best Southern food I'd had in a while. It was that was pan fried. Those livers, they were pan fried.
I don't eat any of those kind of meats because gout.
Well, coming from Joe. Can have a little bit. Do not eat much. But if you've already got gout, you don't want to be eating it. Foxy and I had a ball at the FNT meetup Dallas. Got recognized by an Air Force vet. Nobody cares about Air Force vets, so why are you bragging about that? I'm teasing. From the appearances here on PCM represented. That's really awesome, man. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and come down next year.
I know Friday Night Tights tries to pretend we don't exist. It's like Gary and all those guys. Gary knows who I am. We've met.
I need to get a T-shirt so I can represent here.
I did thick cut pork bellies on the barbecue last week. Yummy. That sounds good.
Anima, I'm working on a deal that might allow us to have that.
By the way, Keith, you know what I discovered a couple of days ago? No more mandatory vaccination, so I'm good to go.
Awesome.
Ooh.
We got that out of the way, finally.
Yeah. Eventually, she'll be right here in the studio with us.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
That's fantastic.
I think so, too.
Hopefully, when you get here, I will have worked out a deal for new T-shirts for us.
Well, on top of that, Keith, we've been talking about it for a long time, and we've got to do it. We've got to do it. We've got to get back to shooting in the same room. I liked it when we did that.
Yeah.
That was when we were having the most fun.
I want to do that. I want to get us T-shirts. I want to get us jerseys. I would like
matching underwear.
Oh, I don't want to.
No one's interested in your underwear, Gary.
But I will say this. I would like to work it out to where all of us could be in the same room sometime.
Yeah. Well, John could be.
Martin,
we've got to smuggle him from Mexico.
Yeah, that's even more tricky than getting me there.
Actually, that's easier. That's easier to do now. He just goes up to the border and walks across, and that's
if I do go down to get him, I'm going to introduce myself to the border agent as Gary Coyote Cassell.
Oh,
Gary K. Coyote.
Yeah, that's Coyote with the K.
I will say that look. First of all, everybody and your well wishes. Thank you for all the positive messages and support. I'd say the next 24 to 48 hours will probably be the toughest for me, but I just wanted to jump on here and say I miss everybody. I miss all you guys, and try to have a better weekend. Okay.
Well, I have a schedule for you, Keith. I have a schedule for you before you go.
Okay.
That you got to get over it and be back here in 2 weeks.
I will work very hard.
I will kick your ass.
You know what? Just between you, me, and everyone just kind of listening to the show, because we're all friends, I will be working on my drinking over the next 48 hours, but I think after that I'll be good.
I know, and just so you know, I can't go to funerals. I told you.
I know,
at dinner
I know.
because of my brother, and I just can't do him anymore.
I
But I
get it.
will be at the thing afterward. I will.
You got it.
Where's that going to be, by the way? I forget.
I will tell you later on today.
Okay.
I was hoping to at least drop by and see you.
Well,
So-
I'll be here in the troll room.
I'll be. Hey Keith, I'll be in town tonight about 5:30 after the show. I've got to wait on a package, otherwise I would have skipped TGIF. But
Are you waiting for your package? Keith, I love you,
Racing.
and I'll see you tomorrow or possibly today.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Talk to you
Bye,
later,
guys.
man.
have a good one.
Bye,
I'll
Keith.
see you later.
Love you.
So there we go. Good to hear from Keith. Yes. But
We
I
all
really
miss
have.
you, Alex.
I've scheduled his show. Is it next or the following Friday? I think it's the 16th. I think I have him down for the 16th. So it's gonna be nice. We got Brett R. Smith's gonna be on this afternoon with us, and of course Kieran should be here. So we'll be doing a nice little regular TGIF this afternoon. And by the way, he says package. Christian says that is actually another movie I have queued up for us to do that I will probably be showing on a Military Monday. The Package with Gene Hackman and Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know if anybody remembers that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Actually, I don't remember it at all. So
Seriously?
It'll be something new for me.
You want to watch it with us?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do a watch party. That's going to be fun.
Anyway.
It's called watch party, okay?
All right. Throw up the graphic and we'll start talking about From. Or we can just talk. Because everybody knows we're going to talk about From today. So I guess we don't have to throw up the graphic. So we're talking about From.
Yeah,
Yay!
the graphic up though.
Do it now.
Do it. Do it now. By the way, that first episode of the Arnold biography, that was really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
And we got to see the house that he was raised in. And it was really cool. It's a museum now. To the park rangers, not to Arnold.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know the story, the Rangers lived in the downstairs part of the house, and they had the upper house. So, but anyway, it's still maintained and kept, and they got a cool statue of him out in front of the front door. It's really a beautiful house. Wow,
Yeah, monarchy style.
Built in the
yellow
early
walls and the green
1800s.
windows.
Yeah, built in the early 1800s, and it's just structured really well. So, but did you find the graphic yet?
Which graphic? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you've had a brain fart. That's okay.
Yeah.
Cool moment.
What do you need from me?
The graphic for From.
The From for graphic. Anima and I both asked for it.
Oh. I don't have it.
Yeah, it's
Of
not on
course
the
you
list.
Well, it was in that folder, so I put it up
Okay.
there instead of videos.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Let me feel useful, please.
No problem.
So keep talking.
So so I got up. I
Maybe I should just start talking about
I
episode
watched the
5.
little news. I do. That's how what I do. I get up and I pop on the news, start watching. Not the local. I just want to know what's going on.
Oh, but there are videos and.
Yeah, I'm probably going to skip the Arnie documentary. I've got I got issue with him right now.
Why?
Oh, because stupidity. Well, look, he's stupid.
Screw your freedom.
Yeah.
Screw your freedom.
Yeah.
It's more about world health. You know, it's like
It's really interesting though, and even funny at some points. I even got
and that's why he can never
accent.
be that's why he can never be president. You
Well,
can't
he's
say
not
something
American.
like that. Well, it's like they joked about it on Schwartz and not Stallone's movie,
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
the 27th Amendment. Or was it 28th Amendment?
The FB 28th, 27th is about Congress
Yeah, it's a
compensation.
28th Amendment that foreign people who are really beloved can become president. And that's really, by the way, that's when you started seeing signs that they liked each other. Arnold kind of did his little nod to him when he looked at the poster with Stallone on, I think is Rambo, and then went like that at him. He did his own arm and then went,
Well, remember in Demolition Man, it was
and that was twins.
No, in Demolition Man, they had a stand-up because they went to the video store and they had a stand-up of Stallone as Terminator.
That's funny. But no, the movie Twins, when he walks by the movie marquee, you see Stallone in there, and he flexes his arm and he goes, So there we go. Now we can talk about the show. We can't talk about it till then.
I need to get into the right mood. Excuse me.
This doesn't loop the internal player.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
I need to see the guy with the creepy grin because he has shit coming up.
and you give me shit, but don't.
He looks like he's poisoned by the Joker.
Yeah.
He looks like a blonde-haired Patrick Moynihan.
What? Who's that?
Don't worry about it, hon. It's an American actor.
Okay.
Of Irish descent. You know, those drunks.
Yeah.
You'll never
He played the Joker in Gotham, the series.
Okay.
This guy did?
No, not that guy.
Oh, Moynihan did. Yeah,
Patrick Moynihan,
Moynihan did.
He's also Cal Kestis from the Star Wars games.
Yep, and he's actually pretty good in that, by the way.
Yep.
Well, it was good while I last, but Mexican Iron Man said it. So, bye, guys.
What? He's got to go? What?
No, Mexican Iron Man fired him.
Oh, did he? Oh, man.
For lack
He's
of
the boss.
access.
So, great job, Martin. Is fired as like a graphic access. We come back, he says. Let's throw that up there.
Stop! You need to stop fucking with us, Mexican Iron Man.
Yeah, there are rivers in islands too, smaller islands. It's still an island.
A body of land surrounded by water is an island, no matter what body of water.
The question is, do peninsulas really exist? Because peninsulas exist on islands. And so it's like a subcategory of a larger category.
Croatia has an island that has a lake that has an island. I always like that one.
Yeah. Islandception.
Yeah.
Croatia.
Europe.
The European answer. Croatia, the European answer to Mexico.
Yeah, no, there's worse. But man, I miss that country.
Doesn't the island at Crater Lake have a lake in it?
Yes. UFO aliens in Vegas. Yeah, we talked about that shit. That was crazy, dude. That was crazy. Gary misses his hat. No, not right now, man. It gets so warm in the studio that I can't wear the hat. I schwitz like crazy. So, episode 5.
Lullaby.
Let's get into that story because I'm trying to remember what happened in episode 5.
We start on the bus. Remember, Donna put the angry dude on the bus.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
sitting there now. Randall is his name, by the way. I finally found out. So it's his first night on the bus. And of course, the things appear. And he starts shit talking to them. Yeah, you can't do anything because I've got one of these talismans, blah, blah, blah. And they just walk away at some point, and that drives him nuts because he screams after them, you don't get to walk away from me when I'm talking to you. And they're just like, yeah, okay, we're done.
He's got some rage issues.
Oh, definitely. Then we see Jade on his bed. He's very drunk, and he looks at the photo with the kid Vincent and the older dude. I forgot what his name was. And all of a sudden, the old dude comes into his room and freaks him out. Another vision. Because we know it's not his first. He's had vision before when he's in the wood with Jim. So yeah, that completely spooks him. Then we have Boyd at the church, and he sends Sarah into the basement because Jim and Tabitha are knocking on the door, and they come in and want to confront him about keeping Sarah there. They are very pissed. Kenny told them that she's a murderer. And yeah, as always, Boyd is telling him things are changing and getting out of control, and she's the only thing for now that we have that could help us figure out what's happening. And he just can't send her into the box because they all demand that. She needs to get into the box. And he calms them down a little bit, but Tabitha walks up to Sarah because, of course, she did not stay in the basement, and just threatens her to never, ever get near her kids or her family again. And then they leave. So Sarah is a little bit spooked out because she keeps telling Boyd, I can't be in town after what happened. I'm not strong enough to do this. And he just tells her to keep her shit together and, yeah, find your strength to do that because you have to. There's no other way. And then he leaves to go talk to Donna. We cut to Ethan, who locked himself in his room because he heard them talk about Sarah being back, and he's just so scared. And both his parents and Julie are outside his door and try to get him to open it. And he finally comes out and tells them he wants to go see Sarah. Meanwhile, Sarah has gone to her old house. There are new guys from the bus living in there now because they thought she was dead at some point. They really don't want her there, but she just wants her brother's jacket and an ornament that they used to collect. He brought one of the ornaments back. He had it on them when they stranded there. But the new guys, they kick her out. They don't want her there. And they also tell her, all your stuff is gone. The clothes belong to them now, and all the stuff that reminded her that reminded them of Sarah, they are with the Chinese lady in her storage room. So there's nothing there for you. Get the fuck out. And so she has to leave. Fuck off, Loki.
I didn't know that, Loki. That's interesting. Thanks. Fuck off, Cat.
Damn it, my squirt gun is empty. I forgot to refill it. I can't chase him off.
Because water's hard to find.
I do not share in the anti-cat bigotry of the rest of this channel.
It's not anti-cat. It's means of education.
Anti-cat.
Shut up, Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
Mexican Iron Man is like just going to town right now. Like he said this one. You call where you live, so anything LA, I think one big homeless encampment. And then Monkey threatened to tell Polly, Chris, and RMB, and Mexican Iron Man followed up with this. While you're at it, tell them that I also said that California is a liberal shithole, political mismanagement, and leftist commies. Thanks. I love Mikey. Oh, man.
So many redundancy on that phrase.
Yeah, I know. Leftists and yeah. So, shithole. Shithole leftists are like, isn't that synonymous with one another?
Mm.
It's like if you look up shithole in the dictionary, it says see leftist. Yeah, don't show that. Fuck that.
Wow.
We will not partake in the fight.
Oh, but it's
it's a play fight, but it's entertaining to read, but we don't need to be showing it. I'm not gonna do that. Kitty woke me up. Oh, your kitty woke her up. Anima. It woke her up.
I'm sorry about that.
All right. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah. Okay. So Jade, after his vision, has gone to the bar and he's recreating the symbols he keeps seeing with bottles. And that's where Vincent comes in, and because he's asked Vincent for help before and he refused, but now he says he wants to help him, but he needs Jade to do something for him, play the violin, but not there. He needs to take him to a special place where he has to play it for him. And because Jade really wants to figure that out, he's like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. I'll put up with your shenanigans. Back to Tabitha arguing with Jim. She's not happy that he wants to take Ethan to see Sarah. And that's when Ethan butts in and tells her that he's brave enough because something scares you, you need to confront it. So she lets them go. Then we get a confrontation between Donna and Boyd. She's really pissed because he didn't put Sarah in the box, and just because she knows things, and she's completely lost faith in him.
We found something that might be able to save us, and you want me to kill it, is the way Boyd thinks.
Yeah, but she throws it right into her face. This is about guilt because you couldn't help your wife, so you had to kill her. And now Sarah's going crazy, and you can't kill her because of your wife. You think you need to help her to make things right again. And that hurts Boyd, so he just walks out.
Well, it's just mean.
It is.
There's no validity to the statement at all. It's just a shitty thing to say to somebody. It's not valid because that's not the driving force here. He has never wanted to kill people. He threw that out there as an empty promise. And he was forced to do it that one time previously when the priest pushed him. And if he can take that back, he'll take it back. He'll walk it back. But people, because Donna is one of those characters who told him, are you back? I can't do this. I need you to do this. I need you here. We all need you here to run this place. And then, by the way, we're going to second guess you on everything you fucking do. That's just jackassery. So, I call bullshit on those characters to do that. And they should be called, on their bullshit too, in the show. They should be. It's like, you just told me you need me here to run this place, and now you're second guessing me.
Yeah, the thing is, she's still getting her shit back together after Boyd was gone. And she had people die on her that night. She's still not over that. So that's just her blaming him for whatever.
Yeah.
She's
constantly, when you see people get angry on the show, it's one of my frustrations is every single time they get angry, instead of getting angry like some people do, every single character gets the lash out angry. They all get the lash out angry, which is one of my problems with writing, is when you use the same form of anger for every character.
Yeah, well, we all agree that the writing is not as it used to be.
This season, not as good. I got to tell you, it starts getting better from this episode on. I started liking the show again this season because of it. But go ahead. So, Donna.
We're done with that scene.
Okay.
Next, we have Ethan and Jim, and they find Sarah at the collapsed house. For whatever reason, she went there. And Ethan he walks up to her and tells her to her face that they're not friends anymore because she was in the woods at night and she survived, and only monsters live in the woods at night. So she's a monster and he's not scared of her.
And he's not afraid of her. That was
and
what
she
he
looks
tells me.
so broken. She really looks broken in that scene. Then we see Vincent. Where is he taking Jade? He's taking him to a car cemetery outside of the town. He put all the cars there when all the people were gone because the cars reminded him of the people. And he also apologizes for losing it when he heard him play the violin the day before, because he blew up on Jade for taking his violin. But the thing is, it just reminded him of his mom. That's why he's taking him to the car cemetery. And he climbs on top of a car and tells him to play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
And it really is a car cemetery.
Yeah. And Jade realizes this is your mom's car.
Ethan made it. He put all the cars there.
Vincent. He tells him he put the cars there so he doesn't have
That's
to see
what I
them.
meant, Vincent, yeah.
Because they reminded him of the people.
Not Vincent,
all the
Victor.
people died.
Victor,
Victor. Sorry, Victor.
Victor is the one who moved all the cars there.
Yeah.
Because it reminded him of the people. Yeah, it's really depressing when you hear that.
So if you bury those cars, they can come back as an electrical vehicle?
Yeah.
They're not buried, but they're just in that place. So it's a cemetery.
It's a pet cemetery joke, Anima.
Yeah.
You don't know the movie.
Okay. No, I don't.
So I got the joke. It wasn't funny, but I got it.
Didn't want it, but there it is.
No, but in reality, because one of the things that I discussed with somebody else is that gasoline becomes stale after a period of time and it won't work anymore. But in
That's
this
what they
universe,
completely fucked up on C.
Well, the thing is, though, in this show, that shouldn't be a problem because electricity doesn't work normal either. So what if the gasoline doesn't work normal either? Which led me to the question, is this like 1899? Is this show like 1899?
A lot of things point towards that, yeah.
That it might be virtual, not real. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. But keep going. I'm sorry.
They're stuck in their $3,500 Apple Vision Pro.
What?
It's just go on. Move on.
It's
okay not to get the joke. It's okay not to get the joke. I got it. I want to keep going.
No, everything just froze.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here. I'm having connection issues, I think, again. So he tells Jay his mom used to play that song when he was scared, and it made him feel better. Also, I need to point out that on the way to the car cemetery, Victor points out that the trees are changing. Because people keep realizing something is odd, because the trees never changed, and now they do. Next thing is Elgin. He goes to the church to be alone there and is surprised to find Sarah there. She tells him she's living there now because he asks her, wouldn't your priest be living there? And Sarah tells him, yeah, he's gone. We don't have a priest anymore, so I live here now. And Elgin clearly doesn't really know who she is, because he sits down next to her and they talk. They're getting to know each other. He tells her he was on the bus because he was on his way to his grandma. He used to go there every weekend, and they would go to church, not because he was religious, it was just their ritual. And then they crocheted owls after that. And she tells him about her brother, and they collected ceramic ornaments. And he kept one. He had one on him when they got stuck there, like I said before. And she was trying to find it earlier, but got kicked out. And he offers to help. He says, if you need muscle, I'll help you. And he wants her to come live at the colony house. And that's when she confesses that she killed her brother. And he's like, it was an accident though, right? And she tells him, you'll find out soon enough. And she doesn't want to talk anymore. And that's when things really get awkward, so he leaves. Because he gets creepy vibes that she doesn't immediately say, yeah.
We've all been there, like a girl, and then find out she's crazy.
Yeah. Because she's so normal at first, and when it comes to her brother, she gets all weird.
That's the way that tends to be.
Yeah. Oh. Yep. Been there. Please continue.
Ethan and Jim are back home, and Tabitha is relieved that he did great, that he did so well, and they hug her and Jim, and she sees the puzzle on the porch, and that's when she has an idea. You can see it in her eyes. But we're going to see that later. Because first we see the Chinese lady doing dishes at the diner, and Sarah comes in. And because remember, she's the one who has all the things of the dead people. She's the one with the storage room. And that's why Sarah is there. She's still trying to get that ornament. And the Chinese lady knows that. She tells her how disappointed she was because she took her husband from her and put hate in her, but she knows why she's there and tells her to wait and goes to the back to get the box with her stuff. Gives it to her and tells her to just never come to the diner again. Sarah walks out, and that's when Kenny sees her, and he blows up in her face and takes the box and dumps her stuff and tells her to never get near her mother or him again. And when Sarah picks up the ornament, he takes it from her and smashes it. Like, you took something from me, I'll take something from you. And all her stuff is scattered on the ground, and people are just walking by, not doing anything. And it's when Elgin walks up and tries to help her pick her stuff up. But she just takes the box and leaves. I think it's sweet of him. He's always trying to be the good kid. Even though he's a little bit scared of her, I believe.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah. After the confession in the church. Next thing, the old lady from the bus, the one who was dancing crazy in the rain. She's at the clinic to find Christy and gives her a bottle of liquid morphine. So apparently she's been diagnosed with cancer and somehow managed to get liquid morphine for when the time comes that she needs it. I found that odd, but yeah. And she tells them that Sarah is back, which Chrissy didn't know, so she's very upset. Tries to run after her, but her girlfriend stops her. We're back to Vincent and Jade. Shut up, Amelia. Because Jade fulfilled his part of the bargain, so now Victor tells Jade about the guy in the photo, Christopher, that's his name, right? And you put it down somewhere. And he shows him his car and tells him he was the nicest guy and everybody liked him and he was joking, but then he changed. And of course, Jade wants to know, changed how? Was that when he started seeing the symbols? But Victor seems scared to answer more questions. But Jade keeps insisting because he's scared that might happen to him. Now he's seeing these symbols that he might go crazy too. And people started dying when that guy Christopher started seeing the symbols. So that really scares the shit out of Jade because he doesn't want to turn crazy. And he thinks he is. And that's when Victor tells him his mom told him one night to hide. And he did. And that's how he survived. That's why he's still there and everybody else died. Go away.
You should feed them before the show.
I did.
Like overfeed them.
They had food 2 hours ago.
That's 2 hours ago. That's like a year to a cat.
Yeah, maybe to him, definitely.
These are the same animals that if they see the bottom of their bowl, they think they're about to die.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how close are we to the end of that episode?
Pretty close.
Okay, let's go with it.
I'll be done when it's time for the commercial break. Don't worry.
Okay.
We found out what idea Tabitha had when she saw the puzzle because she took it to the caves, like where the tunnels are, where she and Victor were. And she puts the
back
puzzle
when she
together.
was doing all that moaning and grunting.
Yeah, and the breathing.
And the breathing. The moaning, the grunting, the breathing.
Yeah. So she's assembling the puzzle in front of the entrance to the cave and keeps yelling, I'm here, I'm here. Her kid inspired her to confront her fear, and I think that's awesome. That this little boy telling her, you need to confront your fears so they're not scary anymore. So that's what she's doing. And creepy kids appear from all sides and they mutter something. I never understood the word. And I don't have subtitles too. And they close in and she's trying to be brave, but then they start touching her and pushing her down to the floor and she completely freaks out. And that's when Jade, who is on his way back from his date with Victor, he finds her, but he hasn't seen the kids. But he doesn't seem to be surprised that she's acting all weird, although nothing is there, because he's had visions, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not creeping him out. We see Randall, the angry dude, working on the bus. And we see later he's putting a chair on the roof so he can sit there and relax. So he's just getting comfortable with his new home. Apparently the things didn't really scare him that much. I don't know. I can't figure that one out. He's weird. Jim goes to find Boyd. And he tells him he's not angry about Sarah anymore because she seems broken and not a crazy killer. And he tells him about the voice on the radio and starts talking about experiments. And we know there's been experiments like that ever since World War II, and we need to work together to figure this out. But Boyd isn't really digging into that. It's like Jim is going off on his conspiracy theories and Boyd isn't really buying it. I don't know. So he just leaves him and goes into the diner to talk to the Chinese lady. And as soon as he walks into the diner, the music turns on and the worms on his skin appear.
Yeah.
And that's the usual end when we cut from scene to scene to scene to scene at the end of the episode. We see the fiancé steal some morphine and take it orally. We see Jade, and he has put the symbols up on a dart. What's it called? he's shooting darts at the symbols because he's put them on that board where you shoot the darts at.
Right.
We see Ethan with a puzzle on the porch, and he gives Sarah a serious stink eye as she walks by. And then we see Boyd in the diner telling the Chinese lady, "I want to talk to you." And that's the end.
Yep, because then we see the next episode when it starts. They're in there talking. Yeah. And I got to tell you, Boyd is stammering over stuff he shouldn't be stammering over in that episode. But we can get to that after the break. What are your thoughts of the overall episode?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm trying to sum it up. I have an issue with Donna talking to Boyd that way. That pissed me off. I thought her to be a stronger character than to go that low, because that was low.
Well, you can actually write subversion like that, but there's a way of writing it to where it doesn't come off so just badly written. Yeah. And the point is that just the previous episode or 2 episodes back, she was like, "Are you back? Are you back? We need you here. I need you here. I need you to run this place." And she's already fucking second guessing him and criticizing his decisions.
Yeah.
In front of others. And, you and I've seen shows and films where they do it correctly, where somebody gets pulled aside. "I need to talk to you." And then they call them out, when they're in private. And then they get corrected. I dislike that when they do that, where they do it in front of everybody. And it's done in writing for a reason. When they do that, they're doing it to show a loss in faith with everybody. That's bad. That's bad storytelling, bad writing. That's weak writing. Yeah. The lack of faith should be there for other reasons, not because one other character started talking shit to the other character. It's a problem they have on the show. Donna's a character that they're trying to give more depth to this season, because she was a very two-dimensional character in season 1.
Yeah, she was just the head of Colony House and didn't have
head of Colony House and just kind of bitchy.
Yeah, well,
rough around the edges
sometimes, but they do develop her. Yeah, what I also really liked was Victor and Jade, and finding out about what happened, so that Victor was the only one staying behind. That one guy changing and people starting to die. So apparently he went on a killing spree or something. And it's pointed out, I think, in episode 7, then when Victor tells Ethan, things changing in this place never mean that it's good. It means something bad. Because the last time things changed was when that guy Christopher got weird, and then people started dying, and it only left Victor alone because his mom told him to go hide. So that was a good part. And you might notice that I don't go into the scenes that we keep skipping with Christy and her fiance. I will just mention when important things happen, like her stealing the morphine. Okay,
there's no story there.
Yeah, when they're just sitting on the bed and talking weird shit. Yeah, not interested. Adds nothing to the story. So
yeah, those are thrown in for check boxes, and it has nothing to do with what's going on in the story. They can hint and allude to that all they want to, but they have, in writing, you have to stick to the fucking story.
We are 7 episodes in, and still that character makes no sense except for adding drama.
Yep.
That's one of my beefs this season. Yes.
Yeah, because she was clearly previously an addict. She's trying to kick the habit, and that sudden appearance of morphine from that one passenger is now what she's dipping into and taking drops of the morphine.
Yeah, but that is also so forced, because just because you're diagnosed with cancer and your chances aren't great, you're not giving liquid morphine to carry around with you. That's not happening.
It's called Deus Ex Machina, when they throw the director or writers throw something writing in. Yeah,
it's just lazy
throw
writing.
Something in to push the story forward. Well, we need some kind of narcotics there, so this character has a problem and shows their problem. So you create a problem to. instead of letting something happen organically. It's just whatever. Bad writing. But still, a lot of it's still good. I enjoy a lot of it, but yeah, some of it gets really, it's burdensome. When the writing becomes burdensome is the problem. So, stop hitting the cats.
I will actually step away for a minute or two and give them some treats so they shut the fuck up. So see you after the commercial break.
All right. We'll talk for a moment. Now, are you keeping up with it at all, Dustwolfen, or no?
No.
Martin?
That's why I'm not adding much, except it sounds a lot like Lost.
Well, it's created by a lot of the same people. But Lost made a huge mistake, which was they were so afraid of fans guessing things that they kept lying and then making it sound like, oh, no, that's not the way we're going. Till eventually they were forced. They painted themselves into a corner. And they had to go back to the original idea that, they were in limbo.
Yeah, which I knew from the first episode.
So I'm hoping, because Hollywood doesn't learn from their mistakes most of the time. I would say almost all the time. But hopefully writers and creators learn from their mistakes. So, and we don't go that direction where if people start guessing things that are going on, because that's what the show's about, is creating a mystery for people to start talking about and guessing at. And if somebody gets close to it, you should go, that's cool. They see where we're going with this, but don't tell them, just go there. And that way there's this sense of satisfaction with the fans. That's what they fucked up with Lost, is instead of giving the fans a sense of satisfaction, instead it was a sense of, see, you went there anyway, and you lied to us.
Jeebus, you're not funny.
Yeah, it's not a good joke.
That's,
No, it's disrespectful.
But we've got to go to break, so...
It's a good time to end the show here for a moment, and we'll be right back. Hi guys, this is Gary from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
Did you know 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated? If you struggle with focus, run low on energy, or when it's time to finally sleep, you simply can't, this can all be linked to dehydration, and Fuel Up has the answer. Our proprietary formula contains the finest cellular hydration with the strongest immune-enhancing natural ingredients. The Fuel Up system is made up of 3 different incredibly tasting varieties. Wake kickstarts your day with a jolt of caffeine. Play boosts focus while hydrating your cells. Rest not only helps you relax, but also rejuvenates your cells while you sleep. Here's what our clients have to say.
I really don't miss my coffee, and you can tell the difference.
So I'm going to take it for the energy. I'm going to take it for the play. I'm going to take it, all day.
And it works. That's the thing. It works. We love it.
Take the Fuel Up Challenge now, where we offer a Feel the Difference money-back guarantee. Fuel Up for life.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh wow, we survived. Welcome back to the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA. Hey guys, we are back. I hope you enjoyed that. Really, there's no time in that commercial to go pee. I got to figure out how to make that longer because Don gets frustrated by it. We'll start the show back and he's not back.
Yeah, it's like 1 minute. That's too short.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so now we get on to episode 6.
Yeah, episode 6 is called Pas de deux, which is a ballet term for those of you who don't know that. And it starts where we left off. Boyd and the Chinese lady at the time are talking. And Boyd is doing his thing, trying to justify why he's protecting Sarah because they need her, because things are changing. And she might be the only way for us to get home. But then Kenny comes in, and we see Boyd leave. We see him in the church. He wants to talk to Sarah, and sees the music box with the little turning ballerina, and hears the music, and there's a ballerina, a real ballerina, and she's dancing for him, even a little bit with him. And all of a sudden, things come out of her mouth, and her face changes, and she doesn't look that pretty anymore. Worms, yeah. And he collapses backwards onto the ground, and we find out he's still in the diner. It was a vision. Because they happen more and more often to him now.
Yeah, because that's where what's her name was staying, is in the church, the old church, and so he expects to find him, but in fact, he is still in the cafe, and he's having a vision while he was getting ready to leave the cafe after talking to Kenny's mom. By the way, I want to point out something real quick here. I'm going to show you something. Present share screen. This is Google. If you look up the show, cast from TV series in parentheses, and you go, yeah, look at that. Wait a minute. There's a major character not mentioned here. One of the main cast. Now, I don't know if they're racist, but they're ageist, because it's Elizabeth Moy who plays the part of the mother on the show. She's a main character.
She is.
She plays, what is it? Tian Chin. Her character is a major character in the show, and she is not listed on Google. I thought that was interesting. All those young, pretty people.
Yeah.
She got bumped.
I agree.
Yeah, Google's ageist, man. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. So, because the episode ends where the last one began. I mean, it began where the last one ended, with Boyd going in to talk to Tian. And we know now, we get it. She speaks English when she wants. And
she doesn't speak very well, but she understands everything.
She understands everything going on around her. And so Boyd's trying to talk to her, and he's stammering over things that he should be more clear on. He really should be more clear. I don't know why he's stammering over these things. Just simply put, it's like I said, look, I made a mistake previously, and I admit my mistake. We shouldn't have put him in the box. It's his fault. We were all angry with him, but I put that out there as a deterrent to try to make people feel like there was order. But the fact is we need to stick together no matter how bad things happen or, what some people do. That sure, they need to have a jail. They need to have a jail. Period.
Yeah. Are we talking like a box, like Cool Hand Luke box?
It's a U-Haul cart, one of the old school wood ones, and it's covered, and you get put in it at night, and then the things get you. You have to. So
it's not a prison; it's a means of execution. They have nothing in between.
Just chain him to the ground like a goat. That's the way they should have done it. The box thing was just language. It was all about put him in the box. Sounds better than chain him to the ground. So. But anyway, so he's trying to explain himself in a very bad way, bad writing again. And Kenny walks in, and Kenny just immediately chip on the shoulder, like, what are you doing here? Well, I am the cop in this town, so that would be my response. Well, I'm the cop in this town, right?
Kenny is beginning to be really annoying in this season.
They're writing him like, I hate saying this, they're writing him like
a pussy.
Pussy. He's acting like a pussy about everything.
He's even worse in the 7th episode.
It gets so ridiculous with his character. And so he's going through something emotionally because now he knows that girl that he liked, was friends with, killed his dad. And then on top of that, she's not dead. And on top of that, the girl he has real feelings for, her girlfriend showed up in town and has ruined everything, Brian. Ruined.
Yeah.
So he's walking around moping and being a pussy about everything.
He still helps Boyd leave the diner after Boyd has the vision.
Well, that's just it. After he collapses, he has the vision of the dancer, and the worms in the mouth. And then we're back in the diner and we see him collapse to the ground from the vision. Helps him up, and then he starts to lose his balance again. And he helps him all the way back to where he's going to. So they're going to have this little talk together, or at least Boyd's going to try to.
Yeah.
So go ahead, hon.
Donna and Fatima and Alice and some of the others, they are loading produce on the truck, veggies and fruit. And she's about to head to the Chinese lady's house where they are going to preserve the food, like pickle it or something to make it last longer, prolong the shelf life. They talk about the shortage that's coming, food shortage, because the storm destroyed a lot of the plants. And she talks about it later. The plants in her greenhouse seem to be dying too, just like the trees that are changing. And he tells them to keep it a secret and tell the others as little as possible. Like, we are figuring out a different system of distributing the food between the people or something like that. And she drives away. Next, we see Christy. She's looking for a hair clip in her girlfriend's bag and finds a leaflet for a rehab center. So she figures out her girlfriend was on the bus on her way to rehab, so she relapsed because Christy did not know that. And girlfriend walks in, blows up in her face, and tries to play it down. Typical addict behavior, like, I'll be fine. I just took a little, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. Christy goes to lock the meds away, which of course pisses her girlfriend off. We're back with Boyd and Kenny there in the forest, and they too notice the trees are changing. And all of a sudden, Boyd feels the pain from the worms under his skin and tries to explain them to Kenny. That's when the music starts again, and there's this music box. And it leads Boyd to a basement door that's just there in the woods, and it opens and the ballerina comes out. And Kenny can't see anything. He's just like, is Boyd going crazy? What's happening here? Because first he talks about worms under his skin, and then he's acting all weird, like something is there, but there's nothing. And yeah, he decides to leave Boyd there and go back to town. We have a small scene about Alice and Fatima overseeing the lockdown for the night at the colony house. And things are still weird between them, but they pretend that everything is okay, but they need to talk. They really need to talk, and they just don't. Boyd has gone to find Christy and tries to explain the worms to her. And he's scared because he tells her about Chicken Leg Dude, and the worms, they wouldn't let him die. And it got so bad that the Chicken Leg Dude begged him to kill him because he couldn't die because of the worms. And then he translated them to Boyd.
Yeah, couldn't die naturally, but could be killed. I like that.
Yeah, he transferred them to Boyd, and as soon as the worms weren't in him anymore, he just died because he was probably centuries old. So yeah, he's very scared about that. And
again, I want to point out that scene really alludes to time travel happening, because as soon as Boyd steps out that wooden door, he's surrounded by the old castle ruins.
Yeah. He tries to explain all that to her. Kenny is there too, so Kenny walked him to the clinic after the second vision. And yeah, Christy isn't really sure what to make of that, and she's really taken aback when Boyd tells her, when things get really bad, kill me. And she goes to talk to Kenny. If he's losing it, what's happening? And Kenny tells her, that's how things started with his dad. His dad had visions too. And that's when things went downhill.
Yeah, because that's what you jump to. That's the conclusion you jump to immediately. It has to be the exact same thing. Weak writing again.
It's the same with Jade and that guy Christian. Jade immediately thinks, okay, what's happened to him is happening to me now. Fuck. I'm going to kill everybody in town or whatever. It's weak. We see Donna and the family and the Chinese lady preserving the veggies, and they argue about keeping the shortage a secret because, especially Jim, he's the one who always wants to do the right thing. He tells her that people need to know what we're facing here. What's the point in keeping secrets? And then people find out and things just escalate completely. And Donna is just trying to keep control. And telling them we're going to figure out a way to make the food last as long as possible, and maybe things make a turn for the better.
Hope is not a plan.
Yeah. Boyd is still at the clinic, and the music starts again, and the ballerina is dancing behind a curtain. And he goes to yank the curtain away, and there's nothing. And suddenly the ballerina is behind him, and she touches him and throws him onto the bed and tries to suffocate him. Fuck off. Sorry, that was my cat. The ballerina tries to suffocate him, and she disappears the moment the girlfriend walks in. And Boyd is so spooked that he draws a gun on her. But he puts it down when he realizes it's her.
Yeah, they do that in shows and movies. It annoys me, where they'll draw a weapon on somebody who's a friendly, but they leave it on them way too fucking long.
Oh.
The minute you know it's not a friendly, weapon training tells you take the weapon off of them or drop the weapon down, because it's silly. Because he has the gun on her, like even further past, he's already recognized she's not a threat. And it's just weird when they do that.
Well,
it's for dramatic purposes. It's just dumb.
He's had 3 visions now in one day. He might be a little bit off his game. Don't you think?
Yeah. I'm not going to give that an excuse. Weapons training is weapons training. You don't fucking forget. It's a habit. Yeah, I sent an invite to him if he's available, because he might be at work.
Have I ever been on a panel?
He's doing
I don't think I have.
I don't think so.
We need to make that happen, Kyle. I just wanted to say that.
You're not giving him much encouragement when you said it. Just exactly like the video.
It's funny though. Stop eating notes.
Speaking of notes, let's keep going.
Okay. I have them back now. That's it. Alice and Fatima finally talk, or should I say argue, because she is so pissed that he kept Sarah a secret. He tells her, that wasn't my choice. I needed to promise my dad to not talk about that. And that's not what this is all about. So what's really going on? Because Fatima has something going on. Then they hear a fight in the kitchen, so they go to check it out. And there's an older dude, and he's really angry at Elgin because he saw him take food out of his backpack. But that was Elgin's own food. And I think Elgin, because he's trying to be a good kid all the time, he probably just wanted to add it to the food that they had on the table. But the old dude blames him for trying to steal the food, because people know that something is going on with the food. They just don't know how bad it is. And he has a veggie knife. He's chopping up vegetables when that happens. So when Alice tries to intervene, the guy turns around and stabs him in the chest, accidentally. So they put him on the couch and try to stop the bleeding. We cut to Boyd at the clinic, and he stares at the spot in the basement where Kenny's dad died. And it's when his old buddy, the priest, appears again. And they talk about, is he losing it or not? And because people are talking. He tells Boyd, people upstairs are talking about you going crazy. And Boyd asks him, do you think I am? And the priest is like, well, what can I say? You're talking to that priest. So go figure. And Kenny comes in, and he heard Boyd talk to someone. And Boyd tries to play it down, but Kenny locks the door and tells him, you're telling me what's going on now because you're freaking me out, dude. So Boyd tells him about the visions and how scared he is about that. We leave them to see how the people are trying to figure out how to get Alice to the clinic, because he needs to go to the clinic. He's losing blood. And Donna took the pickup, but they still have a van. Remember, most of the cars are damaged in town, so there's not too many functioning vehicles, but there's a van, and it's parked by the shed, but it's already dark. It's already night. And so how to get to the van? It's too dangerous, but it's the only option. So Elgin tells them to because things appear. Elgin offers like we can make it. It's not that far, but they have lookout posts in the windows, and one of them reports, yeah, there's something out there. And that's when Elgin really mans up and runs to get the van. And things are everywhere, and they close in on the van. And Elgin tries to find a talisman, but there's no talisman on the car. So he just races the car to the house, and they manage to get Alice in. And Elgin is driving them to the clinic when things make a turn for the worse because Alice's lung is collapsed. So he's having trouble breathing. They make it to the clinic, though, where they interrupt a talk between Christy and the girlfriend. And Christy calls for Boyd and Kenny, too, and then treats his, looks at his wound and tries to figure out, is it air or blood in there? And it's blood. So she treats this while Boyd gets Fatima out, and Elgin follows, too. Kenny and the girlfriend assist, and there's a lot of blood coming out. So after stabilizing him, more or less, Christy goes to talk to Boyd, who is outside with Fatima and Elgin, and tells them Alice needs blood. So Boyd needs to give him blood. And of course, he's worried about the things, the worms under his skin. He doesn't want to give that to his son. But Christy just tells him, you do this or he dies, because he's lost too much blood. And that's when Kenny pulls his gun to force him to do that. And that's when the worms appear. So they see that Boyd wasn't fantasizing about that they are real. That's the one manly thing that Kenny does is he tells him, pass it on to me and then do the transfusion. And then we can figure out what to do next. But Boyd doesn't want to because it's a horrible thing with the worms. And he's not passing that on to Kenny. He's like a father figure for the guy. And he has an idea. He takes the knife and goes outside and calls for the things to come. And the creepy bus guy, the one with the grin, that's in the graphic that we have up here, he's the first one to show up, and others show up too. But he walks up to Boyd, and Boyd cuts his hand and slashes his throat and passes it on to him. He even says the words, my blood is your blood now.
I think that's necessary.
I think so too. It's
like a command. It's like
a
command.
And at first, nothing happens, and the dude grins and says, I like this game. And
I like this new game.
I like this new game. But then he starts screaming and goes down to the floor and has cramps or something. And that's when Boyd just backs up because the things close in on the creepy grin dude on the ground, and they're watching. They're very interested in observing what's happening to him. So Boyd gets the hell out and goes back inside, and they do the transfusion. And we see the things walk away from the guy on the ground, and he's motionless. So did he die? Did he pass out? What happened? We don't know yet. Donna and Ethan are storing the pickled veggies in the basement in the Chinese lady's house. And Ethan is worried that this house might collapse too. And Donna tells him, there's no digging. They're not making a giant hole in the ground, so you're safe. The house isn't going to collapse. And he admits that he's telling everybody he's not scared, but he's very scared. And then Donna says something very important. She says, fear is just one of the things that live inside us, just one of the feelings, but it's the most important one because fear is what makes us heroes. And Ethan hugs her. We cut back to the clinic. Boyd is done with the transfusion. Alice is awake and doing much better. So Fatima gets out because she's overly emotional all the time. And this, almost losing her boyfriend was just a little too much. So she leaves the room and goes to cry in the hall a little bit. And Christy is there getting some blankets or something to clean Alice up. And she tries to comfort her, and Tabitha just says she can't do this anymore. It's all too much. And then, and this didn't fully really surprise us, Gary and me. Then she asks her for a pregnancy test.
Yep.
And asks her to not tell anyone that she's asked her that.
Please don't give anybody a reason why I'm acting erratic.
Yeah. And the last
Let them wonder.
Last scene of the episode is Kenny and Boyd in the window of the clinic, and Kenny apologizes to Boyd for not listening to him. and they watch.
Hey,
the
remember
dude
when I was
on the
acting
ground.
like a pussy asshole?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sorry about that, man. I'm suddenly
Should've listened.
changed and different.
And they're wondering whether the thing is dead or not, because it's still night. They can't go out to check, but he's not moving, and there are no things around, no other things.
Hey, let's go poke it with a stick.
Well, not tonight, buddy. But yeah, Kenny is so annoying this season.
I got to tell you, it's so funny because like it reminds me of when I was a kid and we thought we had killed this eel with a rock when I was a kid. We were freaking out over it, and it was like spazzing out. It was stuck on a rock in a puddle, and we wanted to be on that rock to fish, and we couldn't do it while this eel was. And so we threw rocks at it, and it seemed to stop moving. And we're like, oh, maybe it's dead. And so one of us, I can't remember who it was, grabbed a stick to poke in there. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't an eel anymore. It was a goddamn copperhead snake.
Oh, surprise!
Because it was apparently hiding in there. And I guess we killed the eel. So the snake was like, I'm free. And it came out, and you never saw kids fly off a rock, a giant rock. We just jumped. Didn't care what happened. Running as fast as we could in every direction to get away from that damn snake. Stupid kids. But anyway, that's what it made me think of. Poke it with a stick. Because that's when it'll lash out at you. And and of course we see a little bit of that nod to that in the next episode. I don't want to give it away yet. But how close that's near the end, isn't it?
That's the end. That is the last scene.
So immediately it's the next morning in the next episode. And they're all, I can't remember when her nightmare starts, the drug addict girlfriend.
Later.
But Boyd, I know Boyd's still looking out that damn door. Like, oh, it's daytime. It's still there. Let's go poke it with a stick.
Yeah, I think they stayed at that window the whole night to see if something happens to it. No.
Just watching to see if it got up, moved, and came back or whatever. Because
obviously Boyd successfully transferred the worms to the creature, and the creature didn't react too well. But this is new, so let's watch. Let's keep an eye on it. But yeah, it is early morning, and so the episode's name is Belly of the Beast. I like the names they give to the episodes, by the way.
So the worms aren't tied to the creatures at all? There's
what do you mean?
Different. Well,
we don't know what they are yet.
Different worlds. I think they're different worlds here.
We don't know what they are yet, but they are transferred by blood, by this ritual of cutting both the recipient and
I don't
the
think these creatures are aware of them. I don't think these creatures know what they are.
No, because the dude saying, I like this new game, he had no idea what Boyd was doing. So this is something else.
Yeah, and so once again, I want to go back to that episode in the dungeon, though, when he says, when the music stops, that's when they come.
Yeah.
What was he referring to? This is another mystery within the show.
Yeah.
What was it that was going to come when the music stopped? Why did that music box suddenly appear in that dungeon? It was playing. It wasn't there when he climbed out.
It appears. It just appears out of thin air, that music box. So it's like 1899. We give it kind of answers that open even more questions.
Yeah. So, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm drawn to shows that make you ask questions, try to figure things out.
I am too.
I like mysteries.
I don't mind it when it goes a bit slow, as long as the mystery is good.
Yeah. When it goes slow on this show, though, they tend to derail because that's where the bad writing kicks in.
Yeah. Like those scenes that we keep skipping.
Yeah. Just very weak. Also, I do want to point out this season, what's his name is back, the guy that played the priest. Sean Mahumber. He plays Father Katri. And he comes back as a ghost in Boyd's head. Or is he in his head? Is he something that's manifesting? I
Well,
don't know.
he can't be one of the things because he appears indoors.
No, he's
so
not one of the things.
that's
But
not
this
it.
place, we don't know the rules of this place yet. There are so many things we're still learning about the show that, because now, agreed, Father says, I'm just a manifestation of in your own mind. But is he? I don't know.
It's also two different things because the priest, he was a real person and kind of friends with Boyd, so he appears. And then on the other hand, we have this ballerina appear. And that ballerina is not a person from Boyd's life.
Yeah, it's somebody he doesn't know, and she's appearing to him.
She might be a manifestation of the ballerina on top of the music box.
So
we don't
once
know.
again, it makes me wonder if that's a manifestation, then is the priest a manifestation too? So there's lots of little mysteries in this show, and I do like that.
I really like how every time Boyd sees him. Sorry.
Jay's becoming a more interesting character this season.
Yeah.
He's becoming more three-dimensional. And I like that. We saw that with him playing violin for Victor.
Yep.
So it looks like they're putting some time into some of these characters and then putting too much time into some characters that nobody gives two shits about.
Well, Jade is becoming less and less an asshole because he has stuff happening to him with visions and shit. So he starts to care more about other people too because he's scared.
So they open the doors and they go out. And again, Kenny starts acting like a pussy. Maybe we should touch it.
Yeah, he wants to burn it. He wants to burn it. And Christy says, like, are you crazy?
One of my favorite things in the movie Battle of Los Angeles is when they kill one of the aliens. They begin to dissect it.
Yeah.
You know, how do we attack this thing? What is it? You want to know what the organs are.
That is exactly what Christy is pointing out. We need to examine this thing.
So we know how to fight them.
Yeah, we need to find out how the worms killed it, and then we might have a weapon.
And so if somebody said that to me, my response would be, so thanks for the safety tip, Egon. Let's be careful cutting open the strange creature. We'll take precautions. Thanks, Egon. You know, just being an asshole, a dumbass. Because you know, everything's about fucking panic with him right now. He's panicked over everything.
Yes, he really is.
And there's nothing I dislike more than watching people panic. And sometimes you just got to slap somebody, and they don't do it. They try to reason with somebody in a panic mode. It's like
all the shit that's going on between Kenny and Christy is just so annoying in this episode.
Yeah, so they put him on a sheet and carry him, the dead body of this thing, back into the schoolhouse, which is where a clinic is.
It's a clinic now, yeah.
It's an old schoolhouse, but now it's a clinic.
And Kenny's whining about it all the time. And yeah,
I didn't want any part in this.
Boyd sends Fatima and Alice back to Colony House because they need to keep this quiet. So don't tell anyone. They want to stay, but Boyd tells them, you can't because people are going to come and want to check in on you. So please get your asses back up there and don't tell anyone what we have going on here with the autopsy of that weird creature.
Not until we have an idea is the way you should have said that. Because
we should point out also the creepy grin is gone. His face is all ugly now.
Yeah, now he's full on whatever this thing is, this creature.
Yeah.
His mouth is like all teeth.
It's so...
Yeah, Kenny is absolutely the worst character on the show in the current status. Just
he and the girlfriend.
Whining about everything, panicking, and I don't like this.
Yeah.
You know, and Boyd even goes so far as to tell him, man, that pistol's still waiting, or that badge is still waiting for you, buddy. It's like, whatever, dude. I wouldn't offer that guy until he cowboyed the fuck up.
Yeah.
So, but they go in there, and this is the poking stick scene that I was talking about, and where they're cutting him open, and they're trying to do a full vivisection.
You're jumping ahead here.
Well, this is the interesting part for me. So, if you got other stuff you want to go into it. Go into it.
Yeah, okay. Donna has the guy who stabbed Alice locked up, and he's just scared. There are too many people. And remember, a couple episodes back, he wanted him to go out at night, just to have some of them killed so the food would last longer. So he's messed up. So she's locking him up again. There's no prison, so she needs to lock him up at the colony house, and she has a guard by the door. And this one black lady is really upset because they have to keep him at the house, and he wanted to kill them. And that's when Fatima and Alice arrive and distract her from chewing into Donna for keeping him there. We cut to breakfast time at the Chinese lady's house, and Ethan tells them he wants to visit Victor. Julie wants to go to Colony House too because she misses living there. But Jim doesn't want them to go. So now he's overprotective. So Tabitha takes him out to argue. Because, we can't lock the kids up and we don't have a way out here. So I'd rather know where they are. And Colony House seems like a safe place than just, I don't know. And Jim, she tells me, yeah, right, because Victor saved both Julie and her. And Jim is like, yeah, what if the things just make you want to believe that? And tells her about the voice on the radio. And she's like, yeah, what if that is just what you're supposed to believe? So nobody believes each other. They're completely stuck. So she just leaves him and goes back inside. And that's when Jim sees a drone flying over him. And that gives him an idea. So then we cut back to where Christy does the first incision and apparently hits a nerve, and the thing twitches, and Kenny goes completely into panic mode and runs out. And we also see that the girlfriend is in withdrawal because she runs out and vomits.
Yep.
Jim found out that the drone came from the bus, so he visits Randall in there. The drone was a birthday gift, apparently, so now he's using it. And he thanks Randall for helping him at the Fallen House and tells him he has an idea for how they can use the drone to figure out what their situation is. Randall is really being an asshole all the time, but the thing might help them to get home, so he agrees to work with Jim on that. At the Colony House, Ethan wants to talk to Victor, but he tells him to stay away. And Ethan is really hurt because he's like, I thought we were friends. And Victor tells him, you gave me a bad gift because the orange marker was all dry. But then he lets him help him measure the moving trees. It's kind of cute because Victor is such a child. He never grew up. They're pretty much eye to eye. So he lets him help. Tabitha meets Jade in the bar to ask him why he wasn't surprised when he found her in the woods, and she clearly had shit going on. So he tells her, your husband found me like that. And he tells her about his visions, the soldier that came after him, the Civil War soldier. And he invites her to help with this project because he needs to take his mind off things. So he needs to do something that is not scary and might improve the situation because he wants to build a distillery out of the stuff he finds at the bar because the alcohol they have so far doesn't taste that good and he likes drinking. So they work on that. Randall and Jim are in the woods at the crash site of the RV. And Randall is like, oh, so that's how you arrived here. And they climb inside. Jim goes for the antenna. And the plan is to trim down the antenna so it's light enough for the drone to fly it above the treetops so they can send out the help signal again. And interestingly, Randall points out, because he's all in with the experiment theory that Jim has, but he points him towards, some people have to be in on this to monitor what's going on here.
Yes, somebody, he's pointing out, because this goes back to the voice on the radio, sounded like the bartender. And I suspected the bartender was in on it.
Yep. So who is in on the experiment and who is innocent?
But are we going to go back there so I can talk about that thing I was talking about with the vivisection? Because I was trying to get into something with the vivisection.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. So with the vivisection, when they cut the ribs open, they have to pull the ribs up off of this creature's body, and it exposes the organs, and the organs are like almost mummified looking,
all shriveled up and dry.
All shriveled and dry. And so, and it was something I thought would be interesting is like, what if the organs, like these things don't really actually eat? You know, maybe they're just killing for the sheer pleasure of it. I couldn't figure that out. But then we get to that point with it where it's like, holy crap. She starts freaking out, the doctor.
Christy, and she's just stabbing at the organs. And I got
really
so pissed.
like I was like, you know, nobody's going to stop her, grab her and go, hey, you need to stop that. She's like, just like psycho, stabbing at it. And then finally bile starts coming out of the pancreas when she stabs it. Bilirubin.
Could it be that they're harvesting organs for themselves?
I don't know.
They run through it too fast.
Because there's clearly nothing inside this thing. You know, I don't think they're eating this stuff. I don't know what they're doing with the organs, but that's all they're going for. They're not going for the blood. They're not going for the body. They're not eating it. They're just going for the organs. And I just thought that was really weird. And so when they cut this thing open and its organs look petrified, the only thing that seems to have any fluid in it is when she stabs the pancreas and it starts giving off bile. And I'm like, well,
Christy was really hoping to get the blood because the worms are in the blood, and she wants to make a weapon against the things out from the blood, but there's no blood, and that's when she's losing it. And as a medical professional, she shouldn't be losing it. She should be, okay, this didn't work. Let's figure out if something else might
those
work.
worms went somewhere.
Yes, exactly. So she should have taken the organs and looked at them one by one and not just stab at them like a mad.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Again, it's the over-the-top stuff they keep going for.
Yeah. He also jumped over the scene between her and Kenny outside because when the thing twitches after the first incision, Kenny runs off and she goes after him. And then this really bitchy scene about, your feelings from me. Jesus Christ. I hated everything about that scene when they're outside talking. And she goes all asshole on him.
I just heard somebody join us.
Bill.
Okay. But definitely moving to the next episode because we're up to episode 7, right?
We are in episode 7.
Oh, this is episode 7.
Yeah.
So what goes on next?
When they find out about the bile, that's already towards the end.
Yeah.
They just cut up the whole...
and they put it in a bottle. I don't know how they're going to... Because I don't know if they have tools to look at anything there. It was an old public school, so you would think there'd be... not magnifying glass. I'm sorry. What do you call it for lab?
Microscope.
You would think they'd have that, but I don't know. It's really weird some of the things they do and don't have there. So
yeah.
But this is the lead up to this next episode. I'm looking forward to this next episode. I wish Don had been here because I'm sure Don would have some.
I wish so too. We jumped over so many things though. Because he was so keen on talking about the autopsy of that thing.
Well, because it's important.
I know it is.
But it's also, the thing I forgot to mention was that's the poke the stick moment. When they start cutting into him, it goes, and it moves. And it freaked everybody out. And that was the poking it with a stick moment. And I laughed when it happened. I'm like, ha!
Yeah. Well, it startled all of them, but Kenny goes full pussy mode.
Kenny.
And it's all about, we're not supposed to touch that. We need to burn it. And Christy's like, you idiot. That might be the only way to figure out how to kill them. So he's so annoying. And she is so over the top. And
Yep, absolutely. So any final thoughts on the episode?
There are still some things.
Then go. I just said that a minute ago. Go.
Elgin goes for a walk with Julie, and they talk about things that happen. And he asks her, how are you not losing it? How are you holding up so well? And she tells him about her trick. She fills up the bathtub, and then she goes all the way under the water to cover her ears. and it sounds like the ocean, and that calms her. And she tells her, I'm not taking baths. And also the girlfriend, you mentioned her nightmare. We see her get out of the bed, looking for Christy, and the clinic is empty, and also the thing is gone, and she freaks out about that. And that's when she finds Boyd. And the thing, the grinning guy is...
She runs room to room, yelling for people, and nobody's responding. And then when she turns the corner, all of a sudden there's that thing standing in a doorway in daylight.
The bed is empty, so she knows it's gone. And then Boyd shows up, and on the other side of the hallway, the grinning guy is up and alive and walks towards her, and Boyd shoots it. And of course, that has no impact. And that's when she
yells,
wakes up.
Get out of here, get out of here. And he's just shooting and shooting and shooting. That immediately told me that it was a dream or a nightmare, because Boyd wouldn't have had that reaction.
No.
But that was a good scene. I like that.
And what else do we have? Yeah, Victor and Ethan measuring the trees, and he tells Ethan, because Ethan is like, but the leaves, they fall off every year in autumn. And Victor tells him, not here they don't. And things changing usually means something bad. And Ethan is trying to stay optimistic.
And it's like, maybe this time it's something good.
Yeah. Also, on their walk, Alice tells Julie about how Boyd killed the thing because he was there and saw it, but she needs to keep it a secret. And in the last scene, we see Elgin taking a bath, and as he's sliding under the water, something is pushing him all the way under. And we switch to his perspective.
Mummified.
And
it looked like a mummified version of
Julie.
Fatima.
Fatima?
No, it looked like Fatima to me.
Okay. But Julie is the one telling him to take a bath. So it would make sense to have it appear that she wants to kill him.
The face and hair didn't look like hers. It looked more like Fatima's hair and the squareness of her jaw. So, and it's mummified looking, and it's holding him under the water. And that's where the show ends. It ends with him under the water in the bath.
I think it would make more sense if it was Julie, because that would be the things trying to mindfuck him, basically. Because
I don't think he'll ever take a bath again. I don't think he'll take a bath again.
But he trusts Julie. He likes her. He does what she told him that helps with not freaking out. It would make sense if the things want him to believe that she just told him to do that so she can kill him.
Stop liking girls.
I don't think he's going to trust her, at least for a while.
You think that'll happen?
Well, her tip or trick or hack or whatever almost gets him killed.
It's a good question. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next episode, which will be out Sunday, right?
Sunday,
Sax has a theory.
What?
Sax has a theory.
I thought you said sex has a theory.
Oh,
that's when you got my attention.
Oh my
Jesus Christ! You pervert.
That seemed like a different kind of creature. Yeah, like I said, it was mummified on the outside.
There are a lot of creatures where we don't know what they are, where they are from. Parallel universe. We don't get answers to that, not yet. And we have 3 more episodes to come.
Racing.
Has it been renewed for a 3rd?
I don't think that's out yet.
I can check real quick.
That would be good to know. Because, and I said that earlier or before the show, a lot of people are afraid that they might do a Lost thing and just drag things out and then give a stupid ass ending.
Yes, it is. The 3rd season has been renewed, or it's been renewed for a 3rd season. So good. There you go.
That means you won't find out anything this season.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not allowed to find out things until the end.
That's bullshit.
You're bullshit. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Like I say, I don't have a problem when things go slow, but I get the feeling, and I didn't have that in the 1st season, but in the 2nd season, they are dragging things out by adding unnecessary drama, unnecessary characters, just to make it go longer, and that's stupid.
I think that they need to unveil some truths in order to keep people satiated.
Give us some little things.
Give a taste. Give us a taste of something.
Yeah.
We're not asking you for the whole fucking meal at once, but please give us some. What do they call those before a meal?
Appetizers.
Appetizers. Give us something to snack on in the interim. But yes, I agree with Zach. It was a different kind of creature, and again, I don't know if these are nightmares so much as manifestations that are caused by something or someone. So you chew on that the way you want to. I don't think these are normal nightmares. I think these are nightmares that are being caused.
Induced?
Like the visions.
Yeah. Manifestations.
Yeah.
That's what induced is inferring. That it's a manifestation. It's not a dream.
Something is getting in.
Something's being
heads.
manifested in their brains.
Yeah. So I like Jim's theory that this is an experiment, but who is conducting the experiment? And who?
That's what was going on with 1899.
Exactly.
That's the human trials for Neuralink.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, it's like the episode, the series ends with Elon Musk going, that went really well.
But even before Jim started his experiment theory, we were already having the feeling that this is an 1899 kind of story.
Who's Jim, by the way? Who are you talking about?
The father.
Oh, the dad in the show.
Yeah.
Randall hints at stuff too.
He's immediately in on the theory, and he says, then if it's an experiment,
if that's
some
what's
of
going
these people
on,
are in on
then
it.
somebody here's in on it, because every single major social experiment, there are going to be people that are in on it, aware of it.
Brings you back to the bartender.
Yep, the bartender.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I thought was odd that they killed him at the beginning of the show or the season. They just killed him off. I'm like, but that's the guy we heard on the radio. His voice is very distinct because he's talking to what's his name, Jim, the same way the bartender talked to him. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Did they kill him off by sending him into the box?
Killed who off?
The bartender. Or did they just kill him?
He died on the house.
When the house collapses. And my theory on that is that the tunnel has its own gravitational pull. And when they introduce that gravitational pull with the surface world's gravitational pull, it caused the house to collapse, that it couldn't withstand it. I think there's a double the gravity moment.
Because that house didn't collapse naturally. That looked
No,
weird.
it's very unnatural the way it collapsed. No house collapses that way. Just inward. It imploded downward.
Yeah, that's not normal.
So
that's
hopefully if we get at least 3 seasons of this, we should get some answers in the 3rd season. I don't know if I think we're going to end this season with a reveal that will also be a conundrum or a mystery. Like, wait, what? You watch. They'll do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was this, but what? No way. And then next season, oh wow, I didn't pick up on the bartender. Yeah, go back and watch that episode when he's talking.
We're not sure, but the voice totally sounded like the bartender. The voice that you heard on the radio.
Like him. And I wasn't the only one that noticed that, because we talked about it before a show with some other friends, and they were like, they brought it up, like, yeah, that sounded like the bartender. I'm like, yeah, it did. It totally sounded like him.
It really. We went back and listened to it again, and it totally sounded like him. Bankman's Girl, I don't know where you are at, but we are caught up. The next episode, number 8, is going to drop on Sunday.
Yep.
Can I say something funny about Jim, about the dad? Because the guy who plays him, so he was on Band of Brothers, and that's like 20 years ago or so. And between episode 6 and episode 7, we binged Band of Brothers. And then we went to watch episode 7, and I was like, oh my, it's weird to see him that old.
Yeah, because he was like a kid in that movie.
Yeah, he was like 16.
That's something we should cover is Band of Brothers.
Yeah,
I plan on doing it for Military Monday.
And its companion, the Pacific.
The Pacific.
Well,
Yes.
I've got to introduce her to him one by one. She can only. I'm always at risk of breaking her with these shows. So that Pacific's got some rough moments in it, but it's really good.
Yeah,
it's not as structured the same way as Band of Brothers, because Band of Brothers followed the flow of certain specific events with these specific people. We kind of bounce around a little bit with the Pacific, but there are some major scenes in it, and the cast was really killer. They were awesome, and that combat with the Japanese in that one scene was really one of the most intense moments I've ever watched on a TV screen. You know the one I'm talking about, where they're just like 50 feet apart, just going at each other with weapons.
Oh, yeah.
I'll watch almost everything with you, Gary. Just we need to stick to the new rule. No things like seeing Private Ryan after 5 p.m.
I didn't catch what you said. What?
Just stick to the new rule with heavy to watch stuff, not after your 5 p.m. Because that's after my midnight, and that's not the time of day.
Okay,
where you want
baby,
to watch stuff
I'll do that.
What?
Why am I with this asshole?
Those of you at KGRA listening on the app and not watching, I did a crude gesture when I said that.
I was going to say Stockholm syndrome. So
Stockholm, but she's Austrian.
Oh my goodness!
I just remembered when I was so sick last year, and John told Gary I'm allergic to him, and Gary was like, "That's fine. There's shots for that."
Yep. Let's see.
Mighty
Orbots is here. Mighty Orbots is here. And Vinkman's girl says she relies on us for these shows.
We're glad to be of service.
And of course, Zax is fully caught up. It's crazy to think how little time has passed for the people in that town. I know. The one that really threw me, Zax, is they shoot that in a real town up in Canada. I think it's in Calgary.
They do
that house,
some things, though.
The house next to the diner really exists. So I'm like, how did they do that? Because it's like, did they build a whole other set just for the collapsed house? Because that house still exists there.
Probably
I don't know. Well, the collapsing was CG, but the prop itself in some of the angles isn't. So I'm like, are they hiding the house? I don't know how they're doing it. It's really fucking
green
wild.
Screen. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I just thought that was wild.
We need to go to YouTube and find out if there's behind the scenes material on there.
Oh, I'd like to see that too. But looking forward to the next episode. Next week, we'll talk about Florida Man. We'll be caught up with From, so we can talk about that at the first or second part of the episode, because I know Don wants to join.
Do you want to wrap it up? Florida Man? We have 3 episodes.
I want to wrap up Florida Man. I want to wrap that up so we can move on to some other stuff, because one of the things I want to start doing on the show is also introducing you, that as I've been doing, to classic great TV shows. And I'd like to talk about some of those shows. Undateable. Why was that show so awesome?
Yes, please.
I want to introduce you to some other shows. I actually want to introduce you to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know what your reaction is going to be to that one. It's really a flip of the coin. I don't know. I love that show because they took the rule of Seinfeld and went to a whole different level with it. That
You're usually pretty good in predicting my
characters I think that you do better with a show when I explain things to you. Okay. And with that show, you have characters, just like on Seinfeld, who are exactly the same at the end of the show as they were at the beginning. There's no growth as a character. Those characters don't grow. And if you watch Seinfeld, you discover they're really not very good people.
I've never watched it.
They're really self-absorbed assholes. That and it's just so funny. It's like they're so superficial, like Seinfeld with the way he's attracted to women or turned off by them. It's so superficial. And it's funny because they turned it into a comedy. And they were mocking some of their own superficiality. You know, because like David, the guy who created the show with Seinfeld, he is George Costanza in real life. Those things that George did in the show are things that he did in real life. And he is kind of like that in real life. He's a little bit of a superficial douche nozzle, but he's funny as hell.
Sucks.
Curb
He's
Your
coming back,
Enthusiasm.
though. Boyd is still seeing him, and whenever Boyd has a conversation with the ghost of the priest, he keeps telling him, even that you
I don't
you're
think
still a
it's the
shitty
ghost.
priest.
I don't think it's in his head.
I
I
don't
think, again, it's a manifestation.
Yeah, well, the priest is dead, definitely.
Oh, he was killed.
Yeah.
But again, if this is a virtual world, so
I'm just glad Boyd keeps seeing him because I love that banter. You're still the shittiest priest I ever met.
oh, he's played by a Canadian stand-up comedian, so he's
Hey,
not fun.
Scribe
He's not
Lad is
funny.
in the house.
He's not funny. Gotcha. Scribe is here. Yep.
Hi,
Thank you for stepping on my job, Martin. That's awesome. I appreciate it when you do that.
You told me to do that.
I know, but right when I'm about to make a punchline.
You should be about to wrap this up because we have like 1 minute.
Because we all know that Canadians can be funny. Because Norm Macdonald's like one of the funniest fuckers on the planet when he was alive. God rest his soul.
Red Green.
I don't know who that is.
All right.
I'm kidding. I know who it is.
Just when I think when you have culture, you don't have culture.
I fucking know who Red Green is, and he's
You
hilarious.
just broke that Wolfen's heart.
Yeah, but I'm fixing it again.
How can you be surprised by that, John? How can you be surprised?
Okay, I'm trying to tell him.
I heard.
Yes, I know who he is, and he's hilarious. Jesus Christ, trying to talk in this fucking place. Anyway, we're at the end of the show, guys. I want to thank. Fuck you, Zach. Oh, wait, I didn't play it. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
you didn't play it. You
I
have
didn't
to.
play it. Where's it at? I gotta play that video before we go. Oh my god.
Half a
Oh my
minute.
god. Where's
No
it at?
pressure.
Where's it at? I gotta find it. Oh my god. We have so many fucking videos, man. How many are in here now? Good Googa Mooga.
Too many.
There it is.
I want to offer you a full promotion, right? Better hours? Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
There it is.
Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
One more time.
Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
I'm happy now.
Stop making Bill nervous. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bill, do we gotta go? Oh, okay. I guess we can end the show. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Those sons of bitches.
Ma, I'm doing a show.
Don't forget, we'll be back in 1 hour.